I said, oh, 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 oh. I said, I'm sorry for fucking on you. What's today's date? April 7th. You know, they anticipating my deathbed. April 7th, 2022. I'm at work. I got roughly 10 minutes. Excuse me. See, I'm in my office. Nature, beautiful sight scene. Feel me? Look at the coloring. Look the brightness of the light itself that appears. You feel me? Oh yeah, you see the sweat? Divorce time, you know, this hard work right here. We ain't even started the day yet. It's still morning. It's barely 9 o'clock in the morning. We already won already. Why? Because we ran here, nigga. See? That's how it goes, man. You gotta show the sweat. You know, you sweating like this in the morning, jog here. That's what they hate, you know what I mean? They hate you. Niggas is desperate. I woke up with my mom. I woke up this morning, I'm like, yo, these niggas is desperate, bro. I'm like, they got to be desperate. You can see the office in the background. Come on, man. That's how life is sometimes. You get to see in the real one right here, then it is the same thing right here. You see the reflection, but yet it's in a box, and it looks like a picture in a frame. That's life. We just a picture in a frame that happens to be alive and moving. And I happen to be in between. I'm the gray one. Word up. I am the gray one. I'm the one that regulates. Yeah, I just ate some shit and my nose keep running. I got all this mucus coming out. You know, they be trying to kill the boy, you know what I mean? I gotta get me some tissue. Before we even start this topic, that's how desperate niggas be sometimes, you feel me? I was thinking this morning, I had so many topics. I was gonna talk about black. We still continuing the series of black, you feel me? Black is the absence of light itself. It's the absence of light, yeah. And all colors come from light itself. And yet, light came from darkness itself. That's why when you add up all the colors, it comes back to its natural color, which is what? Black. The first shall be last and the last shall be first. Everything goes back to its original form after it's all said and done. It's inevitable. Feel me? This is the reason why they call it Mother Africa. And ironically, it just happens to be nothing but black people. And it's the birthplace of civilization itself. So colors and humans go hand in hand. You gotta see it for what it is. This is the reason why the soil on our feet, the soil itself is dark. The darker the soil, the more nutrients it has in it. And what color is the desert? You feel me? That's because all the shit has been stripped out. That's why it looks that color. It has less minerals in it, so it cannot grow the way it's supposed to grow. That's why the tree branch itself, you see the tree branch, is brown. Then from brown comes green. And from green, all colors is expressed through some form of shape. Purple, orange, you name it. All these flowers grow these, they grow these things, you feel me? I hate when I talk about, that's another topic. So many topics to this. We're gonna talk about it because it's like that's why I can never get to what the topic I'm trying to get to. This is the reason why I can't get to the topic I'm trying to get to, because every time you speak about black anything, everybody get nervous that's not black. It's like, god damn, nigga, I can't talk about black, but y'all niggas thinking it's about y'all. We gonna talk about it. No, it's yeah. Just try. Feel me? Yeah, every time you speak about black anything, everybody make it seem like speaking about black empowerment is a threat to other race of people. And I'm like, how is that? I want somebody to explain to me why people feel intimidated every time you open your mouth and start speaking black. What's up? They love black culture, they love hip hop and everything else like that, but do not want their daughters dating black. You feel me? Like, it's that kind of like, that's what every culture, not just white people, you feel me? It's like, every time I start speaking about these things, Hispanics get nervous, even Mexicans get nervous. Of course, white people get nervous. Every other race or group of people, they start getting nervous. I'm like, yo, what's up with y'all niggas, B? You feel me? That's crazy, bro, honestly. And that wasn't even the topic of the day. The topic, let me see. Topic of the day is gonna be all over the place, man. I wanted to talk about desperation, how people are so desperate. They're desperate. They talk about, I'm desperate. I'm like, my action speaks for itself. You niggas is desperate. The fact that you're around me every day watching and listening to me, now that's desperate. You feel me? That's desperation itself. The fact that you niggas, fuck, nigga, everything they do is desperation. You feel me? And I be thinking back in history, what other time were people this desperate? Because I have to think about my whole life. Like, I'm like, yo, here you are. People are trying to force you to be something that you're not. And in order for that to become true, they start fabricating stories to make it seem like it's true. Injecting you with stuff, trying to make you seem like you're a drug addict, trying to make you seem like you're gay, trying to make it seem like you're delusional, trying to make it seem like I'm like, you trying to paint a picture of something that I'm not. Now that it's not happening, you are forcing it onto it, and it's still not going the way you planning it to be. You feel me? Trying to make it seem like you smell. They trying to make it seem like he doesn't even take shower. You feel me? All these trying to make it, I'm like, what point in history? And I have to think back to myself about how it was the slave and the slave master itself. How the slave master did not allow the slave to read for almost 400 years. Just to turn around and make it seem like he's more intelligent than the slave itself. And for 400 years, what kind of kids you think they was raising if they wasn't allowed to read? Fast forward up to now, it still hasn't even made a big difference. It doesn't. It hasn't. Because the intelligence is the same. They'll tell you it is, but they just don't allow us to occupy certain spaces. You feel me? We still in the same space as them. It didn't even make a big difference at all. The only difference is money. Which is literally based on us money. You feel me? But the dangerous part is not about the slave master and the slave itself. We have recovered from that relationship. What is the dangerous part is people who come out here and has to choose the difference between the two. One will choose to take the slave master side because they feel like that's an advantage. We never asked them to choose, but they come to this country and they want the fastest way to get rich. How do I get ahead? And just like homosexuals and everything else like that, you can play into that part and you can get advancement. You feel me? They'll advance you in those areas. You can get away with certain things that the average person cannot. So some people who come into this country, European whites, or people from South America, or whatever part of the world that they come from, they play into those parts. They play into whether I want to hold people back so I can look better. You feel me? And this is how the part that they play, and this is the dangerous part of it. You feel me? There is a desperate act. That's why I said they're desperate. It gotta be desperation for a person to act in that form of fashion. It has to be, you feel me? They're desperate, they're constantly. They like, these niggas, they do everything I do. They're desperate. But yet, if I'm doing it, and you doing what I'm doing, how is it that you're telling me that you're doing it better than me when I started doing it first? See, they're desperate. They just need attention. They need people to look at me so they can see them. This is the reason why they keep putting our story in honor of me, using me as a platform so they can be heard. I'm like, yo, y'all niggas is desperate, man. Stop using me as a billboard, as a platform, as a moving advertising car, just so people can point at me and be like, look, 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 so they can tell their story. I'm like, yo, get your own story, get your own platform, do your own thing. You feel me? I got like 5 more minutes with you guys. They desperate, my niggas. Chill. Then they get mad because you talking to a girl and you're not talking to one of these other things that they want you to talk to. I'm like, hey, let me make my own decision. This ain't about whether is right or whether I'm faking it or not. No, the fake part is the fact that you trying to choose something for me that I didn't choose. But they're so desperate. They get mad at you for choosing anything other than what they're supposed to choose. Like, I would like that. Yeah, you would like that. This is what I like. Like, I would like them. Like, yeah, of course you would like them. Of course you would like them. Of course. But I am not you. Feel me? You so desperate and you want to be right. And it plays right into the fact that when you have someone standing over somebody for that long period of time, you give them the delusion that they think that they're better than the other person, not taking into account that you didn't allow this person to operate on the same field for so long. Now, you really think that you better than this person, but that person was at a disadvantage for a long time, and yet you still compete with him. The results should have been clear. The fact that you're competing with him tells me that you are not better than him. As a matter of fact, he's so much better than you that even up to this day, he's still competing with you, and you can't even tell the difference because you're still trying to prove yourself. You see? Why you even... I tell you, some niggas is desperate. Poppy desperate. You know, 90% of the people that attack me in California are Spanish, Mexicans. They act like they're not part of it, but they're very good at manipulating people. That's a talent that they have. I give them that. They be picking and choosing too between those dichotomy. You feel me? Some of these niggas, and not all, I'm speaking in general, the ones that battle me, they're so desperate, they want to smell like the slave master's drawers. They just want to stay. They just fiending to be part of the situation. They just want to be recruited. Hey, please recruit me. Like the desperate motherfuckers. Just desperate. They like it's like they gathering for attentive. They just so attentive and they need attention. They just need it. I just look at it from a historical point of view and I'm like, man, I see it for what it is, man. You feel me? Hold on, let's see. What time? I see it for what it is, man. Feel me? Although I get threatened every day, as usual. Even with my job security, they threaten me every day. As if I'm not doing my job. I do my job perfectly, my nigga. Feel me? They just be hating. Feel me? Just to add to the story, they might be pointing out things, but yet refuse to point out the things that they do on their own. Disregarding what they're doing, keep pointing out what I'm doing. Not seeing that there's so many components to the things that's contributing to what you're pointing to. And that's what I always bring it back to. This is the reason why I talk the way I talk, because I made the statement about the slave and the slave master. So I can always refer back to it. You feel me? So here I am. They pointing out things that he's not. Look at what he's doing. He's doing this and he's doing that and doing that. But yet you can't refer back to the reason why the things are going the way they're going. That's like the slave master pointing out in today's time about how the school system is following our kids because this, and you pointing out the flaws in it, and it's like, you got to refer back to how shit started in the beginning. The reason why it is like that, because the system, if it was okay for you to stop another man from reading for 400 years, and the system is as old as that, or a little older than that, then what makes you think the system is in favor of working for people that you've disadvantaged for so long? I'll let you think about that. You feel me? For 400 years, you held somebody down because you was afraid that if you and him compete at the same level, it is obvious that that person was going to be better than you. And you also build a system during that time. And you talk about, or we gotta just pass new policies. So they just think, oh no, the whole system is not gonna work because you built it around the same time you was holding that person down. So you are unfair in your assessment and the judgment of how you do things. And this is the reason why you having problems today, because you refuse to acknowledge those problems. And I see that in my own life, because people create system, they refuse to acknowledge these things, then they want to point out small things. Indeed, I'm like, no, the whole thing is wrong. The way you judge it is wrong, because you refuse to see your own mistakes and you judge me for my mistakes. That's why it's wrong. I gotta go in because I gotta change and everything else like that. And that's how it goes, you feel me? Some of these niggas is just slave masters. They are ignorant. They lie to themselves, you feel me? They got a disadvantage and they've been pampered to think that they're better, to make themselves feel better. But in actuality, if they look at the evidence, it's crazy. It's like the ball has been tilted. Anyway, man, I'll holler at y'all. I don't know what to call this.